I think there are times when you can establish truths. This is one of the reasons I like Bjorn Lomborg's work. He wrote a book called How to Spend $75 Billion to Make the World a Better Place. And what he did was put together these 10 teams of economists, and he had them rank order the problems in terms of return on investment, and then he averaged across their estimates and came up with a final list. You know, that's not a bad application of the search for objective truth in the political and social domain. So, and it's relatively apolitical, right? Because the economists he gathered represented a variety of different political beliefs. And so I think there are times when there are objective facts that present themselves in the political sphere, but most of the time political discussion is it's more like marital negotiation. You know, and it's right when it works in the world. That would be the first thing. Like, let's say you have a plan and you implement the plan, and the plan turns out the way that you expected it to. It's a pragmatic definition of truth. Okay, that plan, flawed, no doubt that it was, imperfect, no doubt that it was accurate enough so that when you implemented it, it justified its own structure. And that's a lot of the way we judge truth in the world, right? Is you think you're right if you do something and it works. And that doesn't mean you're 100% right, and it doesn't mean it's going to work forever, but because you're ignorant and because your knowledge is limited, that's kind of what you've got. And so that's one form of truth. And then another form is, well, can we agree in a negotiated manner? Like, we kind of hope that if we're trying to solve a problem, that we can talk until we come up with the least bad alternative that both of us can live with.
But that's not the truth, though. We're compromising, right? Maybe your idea is better than my idea. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So let's just say your idea is better than my idea, but I'm better at convincing you than you are convincing me. That doesn't mean the best idea is being implemented, right?
Oh, that happens all the time. There's lots of times when the best idea doesn't win.
Right.
You know, but that's partly why the fact that we're constrained by the world is helpful. I mean, what you want to do in politics.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm trying to say is like, so I want to know, is there a formula to get to the truth so then I can say, this is where I stand on this position? Or is it all about a lot of going back and forth and discord until I'm kind of like, okay, I kind of relate to this? 100% truth versus 70%, 80%? You know what I'm asking?
I think 100% truths are very difficult to come by.
That's where I'm going with that.
You know,
okay.
I mean, I've been trying to identify 100% truths, the 100% truths, let's say, that sit at the bottom of our societies. And one of the things that I believe to be true is that the idea that the individual is properly sovereign, I believe, is as true as any idea that human beings have ever come up with. I think that that idea works. Not everyone would agree with that. The more complex the situation, the harder it is to extract out something approximating an objective truth. And so then so much of it depends on negotiation and discussion and agreement. Now, there are ways of addressing that as well. You know, one of the reasons that the United States works so nicely compared to many other countries is that, well, you have a plethora of states, and each of those states, in some sense, is an experiment. And all of the sub-structures of those states are experiments.
Sure.
And you know, because you have so many experiments going on, which is also one of the advantages of an open society, is you can kind of observe and see with all these solutions being generated which ones seem to be efficient and effective. And so one of the ways that you come up with truth from the political level is essentially through a Darwinian process. You know, if you really want to solve a complicated problem, maybe you try to solve it 100 ways, and then you take the best solution.
Got it.